When you can't make it to City Hall or the school board meetings, local journalists from Duluth News-Tribune will be there to report the facts and get your questions answered. Local news works for you. Stay up to date at DuluthNewstribune.com.
Hello, Northlanders. It's Friday, August 30th. I'm Wyatt Buckner with the Duluth News-Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union's services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
It's Friday, and if you're looking for some fun things to do this weekend, Duluth News-Tribune arts and entertainment reporter Jay Gabler has some options in this week's Best Bets.
It's the weekend of Duluth Superior Pride with all the celebration that entails. You can check out my colleague Terry Caddo's preview of this year's Duluth Superior Pride for more about that celebration. Here's information on a few other things going on in the Twin Ports this week. Now, it is not purely a coincidence that Liberace and Liza, a tribute, is in town during Duluth Superior Pride. Rubber Chicken Theater is bringing David Safford and Jillian Snow to the Depot Theater with what's described as a mashup tribute show that imagines the two icons sharing the stage, although Minnelli and the late Liberace never did so in real life. You can expect some familiar favorites as well as a few surprises. Britney Spears covers have been known to happen today and tomorrow, Friday and Saturday at the Depot Theater in Duluth. What is it about cats that makes them so compelling on screen? Maybe it's the fact that, like many of the greats of the silent screen, cats conduct themselves with great dignity until something goes wrong, at which point things go downhill quickly. The Cat Video Fest is an annual touring highlight reel of the best new cat videos each year, and it finds an especially receptive audience in Minnesota, where the predecessor Internet Cat Video Festival was launched in 2012. This year's collection of cool cats, or at least those who are trying to be, has 2 screenings at Zeitgeist in Duluth tomorrow, Saturday, August 31st. Then looking to next week, well, folks, the list of Duluth's Poets Laureate is, for the moment, closed. The program ran from 2006 to 2020, naming 6 poets throughout its existence. The first of those 6 was Bart Sutter, who isn't resting on his laurels. His latest collection is titled Cotton Grass, New and Selected Poems of the North, and he'll be at Zenith Bookstore here in Duluth next Tuesday, September 3rd, for a reading of poems that draw inspiration from our city's intersection of city and woodland. For more information on those and other best bets for the week, check out DuluthNewstribune.com. I'm Jay Gabler.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. A trucking company received notice Wednesday it will be fined $621,600 in the wake of the death of a worker at its Virginia facility. Justin Lee Erickson, 39, was found dead inside a tanker truck at Wayne Transports Incorporated at 1917 South 15th Avenue West on March 7th. The Minnesota Department of Labor and Industry found Wayne Transports had not adequately assessed the danger of sending him into a confined space. The company was also faulted for failing to have adequate emergency retrieval systems to bring Erickson to safety when he was overcome by exposure to the remnants of chemicals the vehicle had been transporting. The fine is the largest the Occupational Safety and Health Administration has levied against a Minnesota employer in the past 30 years, according to the organization's database. Aaron Dean, an attorney representing Wayne Transports, referred to Erickson's death as, quote, a terrible, tragic accident, end quote. Wayne is still investigating the root cause of the death, according to Dean, who said he could not provide details on the previous contents of the tanker truck where Erickson's body was recovered. While Dean noted that Wayne Transports appreciates the mission and the authority of Minnesota OSHA officials, he said the company disagrees with the citations. Dean said OSHA slapped Wayne Transports with 9 duplicative citations for confined space safety standards, with each carrying a $67,200 fine. He said that, by state law, the maximum fine for a serious violation involving a worker fatality is $25,000. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports more than 1,030 people died in confined space workplace accidents in the U.S. between 2011 and 2018. Wayne Transports has been in business since 1950, and Dean said this is the first and only time the company has been issued a Minnesota OSHA citation. Dean said the company has over 700 trucks and over 1,000 trailers operating out of 12 states and shipping goods nationwide. If you walk through Duluth's St. Louis County Depot in mid-July and notice the scent and sights of a recent flood affecting multiple floors, you might reasonably have assumed it was yet another result of this summer's extraordinarily wet weather. In fact, rainfall wasn't to blame. Nicholas Jensen, who started last fall as executive director of the St. Louis County Historical Society, said they're lucky the Minnesota Ballet Board met the evening of July 10th and could report the incident to management. Depot director Mary Tennis said although there are no cameras on the 4th floor, they can confirm a sink overflowed. The water rained onto Veterans Memorial Hall's 3rd floor gallery, located just off the Depot's Great Hall. It resulted in standing water throughout the space. Jensen said the historic artifacts in the space weren't damaged because they were displayed in an exhibit case. The artifacts have been relocated throughout the building. Water also spilled into the Albert J. Amatuzio Research Center, located below Veterans Memorial Hall. It contains rolling tracks of archival storage containing records from northeastern Minnesota veterans. Boxes protected the contents and the racks have been temporarily removed. Veterans Memorial Hall Program Manager Jay Hagan said an advisory committee is weighing options, but he doesn't believe the Historical Society is likely to opt for a complete reinvention of the space in the immediate future. Jensen said the insurance claims are moving forward regarding the damage, which affected both Historical Society displays and some of the Depot's common areas. Ron Hine, the Historical Society's treasurer, estimates it will cost at least $35,000 to repair and replace the walls, electrical system, display cases, and carpet in Veterans Memorial Hall. In the meantime, the Historical Society is asking supporters to pitch in with financial contributions. Along with the Lake Superior Railroad Museum, the Historical Society is one of 2 remaining organizations that have maintained continuous tenancy at the Depot since it opened in 1973 as an arts and cultural heritage center. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought from the News Tribune's Northlandia podcast.
The Duluth forecast for the Labor Day weekend. For Friday, sunny with a high temperature in the mid-70s today. West winds around 10 to 20 and gusty at times. Tonight will be mostly clear with temps dropping down into the 50s. Sunny and warm, breezy again on Saturday with temps warming to around 80 degrees. Gusty winds, particularly during the afternoon. The weather will begin to cool down Saturday night and Sunday. Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy with temps only in the upper 60s to around 70. We'll be well down into the 40s Monday morning with Labor Day's high near 70 degrees. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler.
Thank you to the Northlandia podcast for their support. The bi-weekly podcast explores curious and unique stories here in the Northland. The latest episode explores the long-abandoned Hermantown property home to over 1,000 buried pets. You can find that episode and others at DuluthNewsTribune.com or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by Peter Passy and Jay Gabler. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday.